So Chris, man, random question. And I know
Okay.
I've been hitting you with some heavy hitters these last few weeks, man. So had you over here pondering. But this is an easy one. This is a quick and easy
Gosh.
question. All right. How many tabs do you have open right now on your computer? Let's just
None.
see. Let's just see. Oh, you got none? Really?
Have none open.
Like, I mean, you got a Discord open, right? So that's one.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Dang, I don't know. For some reason, I thought you'd be the person to have like a whole bunch of tabs.
No.
No. Well,
None.
I got like four. If you count all the stuff from OBS to Discord to, you know, my notes and stuff like that. But some people just they just let loose and just never close their tabs.
Mhm.
And today we're gonna be talking about somebody who does that, and it pays off. Today we're gonna be talking about Missing. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Why I'm Geek show. I told y'all last week, man. My best days are behind me when it comes to these cold intros, but I love it. I love every single one. But like I said, today we're gonna be talking about Missing, episode 82 of the Why I'm Geek show with your boy G and ChrisyLite. How's it going, Chris? How you feeling today, man?
I'm feeling pretty good after that opening, but it was a fun weekend. Glad we actually linked up to actually go see a movie because I really didn't know what we are gonna do for a podcast, but
Yeah,
got up early, got that matinee in, and saw a pretty good movie.
sir. Yes, sir. I really like that joint. I only ended up seeing one movie last weekend, which was this one. I planned on seeing two. I was gonna see Plane, but I didn't get a chance to do it. But I'm glad I chose Missing because this was way better than what I was expecting. I'm gonna be real with you. Going into it though, what was your thinking? Because you saw Searching, so this is like a sequel to that. I never saw Searching, so my only interpretation was from the trailer. You know what I'm saying? So what were you thinking going into this thing, man?
Yeah, perfect way of putting it. It's very much like a sequel to Searching. It's not actually related, but
Right.
all the same kind of angles, camera work,
Mhm.
little nifty ways they use technology to tell a story through whether it be device, a computer, webcams. It's just kind of like they know what they're doing. They know how to do this, and it always made such a unique story when I first saw Searching, and then when Missing, it just they kept on adding more. And it's still just a great way of storytelling in a unique way. So
Mhm.
going into it, I was pretty excited. I was pretty positive I would like it just because I am a fan of Searching.
Mhm.
So Missing, I didn't think as long as the story was pretty good, I was pretty sold that I'd like the movie.
Okay.
But how do you feel about just the trailer? Because if you didn't see Searching, it's quite a unique feel.
Yeah. So the initial trailer when I first saw it, I reacted to it, did a reaction video to it. And I was excited to actually watch the movie because I ain't never seen nothing like this before. Where as like after watching the trailer and thinking about it, like, cause like going up into this movie, you see the trailer a few more times, especially in theaters. I got a little nervous, you know what I'm saying? I got a little nervous because I didn't know if, like, like you said, based on the story, if it was gonna be able to keep my attention span if the whole movie is, we're locked on one screen. Which I was
Mm.
surprised to see that, that wasn't the case. I think the movie to trailer ratio was a little bit better because like the actual movie like had endless flips that I just wasn't prepared for. So they, even though like if you would just look at the trailer itself, you might think like, man, I don't really need to go see this movie. Like I feel like I done seen this multiple times already, or like, it's just one of those things, like it's just right in your face. Like they tell you exactly what this movie is going to be. So but initially going into it, I was still excited because the cast is dope. From Storm Reid having her, I don't know if this is her first like lead role, like in a major capacity like this, but first that I can think of, because she's in Euphoria, she's in a whole lot of different stuff, and I think she's going to be in some Star Wars stuff soon too. Um, but seeing her in it, I was super geeked. And Nia Long having a year, having a year. I also saw uh You People this weekend, which is
Yep, me too.
hilarious.
Yep.
I really like that joint. And then we also got Ken Leung, dang, Ken Leung, in this movie as well that we saw in the trailer. So I've always been a fan of his, but I like I said, like you can tell, bro. Like he always play a bad guy for the most part. So I wasn't really like, like I always had my number. My number was always like, this man did it. Like I didn't really know what to think of other than that. I just knew like when they tell you who you are, you believe them type thing when it comes to the movie. But I mean, what did you think of the initial opening though for the movie? Like it was kind of like back in the day, but also like a whole bunch of voices and a whole bunch of
Yeah, it was
everything.
it was like a little flashback, and then we get into it
Yeah.
a little bit, and it's just like a playful little setup type beginning,
Hmm.
which is kind of cool. It is like a thriller type movie, so a lot of movies kind of try to give you the nuggets that will really circle back.
Hmm.
Uh, and it was solid. It was pretty much vague enough that you wouldn't really, you can't see that beginning part and be
Yeah.
too spoiled, but it's solid enough that it's pretty impactful later down the road. So overall it's good.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say great, but
Yeah.
it just serves it just right. And the scenes right after that showing like the partying
Hmm.
and the setup before it was normal. It kind of felt like a different movie at first, but it was okay.
Okay. Yeah. You said it wasn't great. I would say it was great because I ain't never seen nothing like this. And the reason why I say that is because um, OBS was going crazy. And now, if you know anything about OBS, have that's how we run this show here. And just thinking of like, obviously, I don't think that's exactly how they did it, but
Yeah.
it's like if you would want to do it live, I could just start putting things together and like screen record and stuff like that. But I think the like you said, like getting the initial nugget of uh, you know, who I'm about to say Storm, who June is and like what's her real backstory, like, losing her dad at a young age and think like key context that, like you said, will play off in later portions of the movie. But because it was just the whole are you writing messages? Like it was just like I don't know the conversation between her and her mom, and then like seeing it pop up on screen and her typing out nothing, like just typing random things, and then finally actually like making a list type thing. It was just like it was just funny to me because I don't know. I really like that aspect of it. It did give like what is that movie called? Project X vibes, like for
Sure.
no
Sure.
for no reason, honestly. Like I don't I don't think that it was like that groundbreaking, like you said, in that aspect. But, you know, for it to end up being Father's Day and like little things like that, like you knew that she was already in her feelings type thing, and then seeing all her friends, and then like going from highs to lows, and then finally kicking the movie off, finally popping up to the airport, and then her mom not coming back. It's just like, okay, now I'm here, like I'm locked in, So I think it was great. That's just me though. I think it was great. But I think that this is like a true crime lover's like dream movie. You know, if you love true crime, like they even have the movie start off with somebody watching, well, the person watching a true crime type of show where they reenact it, which was really cool to see, and it was just random. Like I was just like, I guess people do really like true crime. You
Yeah,
know, I didn't
it
realize
is
how big of a phenomenon it is.
addicted.
Yeah, like I guess you know, like the closest thing I can, uh, compare it to is like just the anime community, how that has like had like such a big surgence, right now, to where it's like, for me, that's how I look at like what true crime is right now. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So that was a cool little tie in. Um, but I mean, Chris, what did you think of like the initial like premise of this whole thing getting started? Like,
No, the main thing what I love about like these things, I mean, I love thriller movies. They're definitely my favorite because I just love trying to figure out a movie before it actually happens.
mm-hmm,
And like you said, after the initial scene in the airport, and then everyone goes missing. It just becomes like, damn, I really don't know what happened.
yeah,
Like the movie starts, and as soon as it gets going, it's like there is nothing here. Good luck.
yeah,
How are you gonna find a missing person when
yep,
really it's like you went down the street to the store, and now I'm supposed to find you somehow? Like
right,
there was nothing at all. I really like how it just started off like good luck, June.
mm-hmm,
We'll see what you can do. And she was like a lot of us. I mean, there was one scene where she's trying to hack a Google account, and that thing did not work.
which I
And
wasn't going.
yeah, and it's just like to be honest, how would you track down someone and following her journey to try to find her mother that
Yeah,
went off to another country
mm-hmm,
is just so interesting, and that's why it really grabs you immediately. And it even amplifies up as soon as it becomes like a talk around the town, newsworthy.
right,
So it's just a very interesting premise, and I just really like it. It's a great way to set up a thriller because the
mm-hmm,
entire theater is just along for the ride, saying like, I don't know,
yeah,
track her Spotify, log on to her Twitter, who she like, what's her
yeah,
last Twitter comments, like
right,
just anything you can think of.
mm-hmm,
It's much more difficult than anyone could imagine, and we live in a day and age where technology is just everywhere. So
stupid.
you
It's
you you got to
crazy.
really think out of the box to try to find someone,
Mm-hmm.
and
Well,
especially in
really,
this case, to hide someone or
that's what I was gonna say. Like
drop
to
someone off the radar.
to find someone nowadays, like I don't know if you do the whole location thing. I don't do it just because
Mm.
nobody in my family got an iPhone. But like to be able to track somebody's
Uh-oh.
iPhone,
G gonna
and
go missing.
nah,
G gonna go missing.
I'm not finna go like that. First off,
Oh,
you know what I'm
oh, you
saying?
don't got his location on.
Don't even put that in the ether. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
hey, I'll,
But
I'll I'll be on it, bro. I'll be on it. I seen missing. I know what to do. I know
on
what to
me,
do.
right? So, like, just the normal things that people are used to being able to do, like when you going somewhere, turn your location on, especially women. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me know when you get there, type thing. And she was getting all the updates while they were there, and when by the time they
Yeah,
were coming
tricky.
back, like it was just like, what's going on? And the first thing she does, looks for a location, gives her a call, like all the things that you think will be enough.
Yeah, and bro, like it's like as simple stuff like just message me like when you get there.
Mm-hmm.
You got home right. Like you got
Right.
on the plane, you landed.
Right.
Like
And she was
certain stuff.
texting Cuz too. She was texting old boy. She was texting Kevin because her
Yeah,
mom's phone didn't work over
yeah,
there for some reason.
for
You
some
know?
reason.
Exactly. So it's like things like that was like, oh man, like I don't even know what she finna do. So like um trying to, like you said, crack into somebody's Gmail, or even like, having to use WhatsApp to communicate, or like FaceTime and the Apple Watch. Like it's so many technological things that we take for granted that you
Yeah,
just never know when you might need to use, you know?
that's your point.
Um so it was a really, really just dope like first part, and then it just continued to evolve. Like, and I think that's what it did for me, because I didn't really get the thriller aspect until like later on in the movie. Like I
Yeah,
know you
for
keep
sure.
you saying like they had the music in there, right? But it was like it was not like she wasn't necessarily in no danger for the most part of the movie. speaking of June specifically, right? She's just doing the research and um, just going from looking people up to finding their number to figuring out like, dang, this like the agent, Agent Park, right? Like uh, initially doing the search over there and then um, finding out like, dang, we can't really do nothing because we're not in the right jurisdiction, and it's all these other things that you like normally hear in like a missing persons type of situation, and June would just be like, man, forget that. Let me go ahead and break into Cuz's email and try to figure out who this man really is. Um, but what do you think of like just like the content loop in general though? Like trying to figure it out and going from like thing to thing. Like did you enjoy that in a sense of like did it get old or what was your thoughts on that?
I feel like they did a perfect job on how it should be done.
Mm-hmm.
With these types of movies, uh, to get that thriller sense,
Mm-hmm.
there has to be like a constant like second guessing of like everyone's character. Like
Yeah.
you meet a character and then maybe I don't trust them later on. Wait a
Mm-hmm.
minute, why was this character not responding? Why is this character not visiting me? Why did this character say that? It's kind of not making sense based on 30 minutes later.
Yeah.
Like I think one scene was they spilt wine in the bed. Like the story about
Yeah.
wine was spilt, and then as you're watching, it's like all of a sudden both characters don't even drink,
Yeah.
and then it's not like the main character catches it immediately, but then
Mm-hmm.
you start thinking, wait a minute, so now so and so is lying,
Yeah.
or that account is lying, but
Right.
also that person who is relaying the message could be lying. Like
Mm-hmm.
it becomes all of a who do you trust, what's right and wrong, and
Yeah.
because we're trying to find the mom, even the media and TikTok was popping off about
Go
like,
crazy.
yo, maybe the mom did it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as you deep dive on this storyline, it's just kind of like that's where the thriller aspect comes out
Okay.
because you don't know who to trust at this point. June doesn't know who to trust, and she's kind of like I can't give up on my mom. And then her
Mm-hmm.
friend's like, hey, I don't know. Are you even checking up on your mom? And he's like, no, it's got to be Kevin type thing. And
Right.
it's just like sitting there watching it. You don't really know until everything unfolds. And
Mm-hmm.
even then, in this movie, we just get multiple twists that is
Yeah.
just so enjoyable that, to be honest, the twists, seeing it in theaters was very good. It
Mm-hmm.
was very good.
Yeah.
So,
And it makes like you said, like it's like a big old puzzle. Like because I didn't even put two and two together until you just said that with the whole wine thing, because it's just like spilt wine on the bed, but they don't drink. Like I was like, I didn't even think about that in the movie. Like so, it's like so many little nuggets in there, and then also like you said, like I spent most of the movie speculating, like
yep.
dang, did Grace do it? Like what play are they trying to run right now? Because like what could she want that like she wouldn't want to take June with her because their relationship is already like estranged in the beginning of the movie, and it's one of my favorite things that we get to see. Um, at least from June's perspective, because we spend the most time with her. But her being able to not only be a super sleuth, but eventually be able to show empathy to her mom because it's like you never know what people going through. You know what I'm saying? And then that line of communication between Grace and June, it's just like, dang, they could never like get there. Like she wanted to tell her so many times, but it just never seemed right, and she didn't know what to do. And it's just like, dang, like you combine that with what the TikTokers saying, and it's just like, dang, I don't know where I stand, you
Yeah.
know. And I even had a moment in the movie where they were showing a TikToker and it was having like a debate thing, and it was like on like a podcast. I look over to Chris, I'm like, dang, is this us? I was like, is this what we look like? Like talking about these movies and stuff. Uh, but it was just so fun, bro. And I think like there's enough there that I would watch again, or
Mhm.
like even if like just to like if somebody never seen it, like it wouldn't be like even a question in my mind, like, oh yeah, we should watch Missing. Yeah, like this joint go crazy, you know. Um, But let's talk a little bit about some of these characters, man, because there's a good amount of characters in this joint, but it's weird because we're only seeing them through the screen essentially. Like I kind of sometimes forget like that we're just literally watching from the camera, you know. And um, I wanted to hear your thoughts on just like Javier, bro. Javier, the goat, because for me that was my favorite character in the movie because of what you know, like not only was he providing the service and he went above and beyond, but was a catalyst for like June kind of like understand where like the parent side of things,
Mhm.
like kind of restoring her faith. So like, what did you think of Javier?
I mean, the thing about that character is the director has to find some way to storytell in another country, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
impossible. So to have that little like pick me service, let
Yeah.
me run an errand for you, and have someone on the outside uh, run some stuff, try to fill in some holes that clearly June would never ever
Yeah.
fill out ever.
Right.
It's always just creative to see how they're gonna do it because that was
Mm-hmm.
one of the points. As soon as they go missing, it's like
Yeah.
mom went out the country. So how me, a kid, how am I gonna investigate what happened to her?
Yeah.
So it's cool to see a side, another character, and like I said before, can we even trust them? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
uh, there's a communication barrier.
Yeah.
The people in the town could be lying. They could be covering it up,
Mm-hmm.
and so many different factors. On we're also paying him,
Yeah.
so
That
he
money
could
running
just be
out. She
running
only
a
had
loop.
$200.
Yeah, so there's just so much interesting things in
Yeah.
the movie where a character comes up and sitting like watching it from June's perspective,
Mm-hmm.
it's just so hard to you have to put your trust in a certain basket, but then at some point you're like, you know what? Maybe this is wrong. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Maybe you're not helping me. Maybe you're not on my side, and it's just so
Right.
interesting to see how the story pays off. But for sure, he's definitely my favorite character in the movie, and I like the little wrap up they did at the end with his character. Uh, they
Yeah.
they they could have let him had a little hero moment, but it didn't matter. I wasn't too bugged about that. But overall, I liked him a lot. He brought some comedy in it, and
Okay.
it was a good job. It was a good job. Did you have a favorite character of any of the side pieces?
Uh, I think it was Vienna or Vina. I think it's her.
Vina.
Vina. Yeah, the bestie, bro. Because she not only like was a W Mans like in this situation, like in an impossible situation, like you're just a kid. Like there was moments where it's like she had to go to work and things like that, but she was still always there. Like you could see she had a whole bunch of friends at that party, friends, right? But
True.
Vienna was the only one that was really holding her down type beat.
That was a good point.
You know what I'm saying? And then even in the movie, she hit her limit. Like you said earlier, like she was like, "Well, I mean, maybe you don't know everything about your mom and stuff like that." And June had to check her, and it was it was funny
Yeah,
to see
and the
that.
thing about that was when she even brought up, it was like June wasn't even trying to look up
Anything.
anything on her mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like in the movie they did purposely like let her not,
Yeah.
but if she would have just deep dive a little bit, she probably could have recognized like her mom did have some sneaky stuff.
Right.
But like you said, her that was like the only friend that she literally
Yeah.
had the whole time. I mean, it went viral.
Right.
She did say we out here. She did say
Yeah.
we out. But you expect a little bit more people to like try to help or figure out because
Yeah.
it's an impossible task, bro. It's impossible.
Yeah. And that's why she was my favorite character. Megan Surrey. Other than like June and
Yeah, June's awesome.
Javier. Javier. 'Cause I think like with June, like we got to see her grow like over the course of the movie, but also like we saw like it was more so about like the those payoff moments where like it's like dang like we were June. like in those moments. Like every time she had a moment where she was like, wait, da 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 da, right? And it was never like, it was like we were in her brain, you know, because we
Yep.
could see what was on the screen, like slowly, putting the clues together. And like anytime, like, that's one of my favorite parts about this movie. Like anytime there was like a major flip or a major moment, it wasn't always just explained like all the way through. Like I don't get me wrong, I love a good breakdown, like our girl Wednesday, you know what I'm saying, or Zendaya.
Okay.
Haru has some good breakdowns within their shows, and it happened in this one too. But like to create a moment where you're so in tune with a character in a moment, and be able to put like two and two together because you'll be able to visually see it on the screen. Like you have to go see it to understand what I'm talking about, because you get that satisfaction in that moment where it's just like, oh, that's what we like. I think for me, like the moment that happened the most was when we found out about the dad, right?
Mhm.
And that not only the dad was alive, but like the way the movie initially starts, where we get told basically that he dies, right? Is that like you see a nosebleed, and I obviously think like either like leukemia or like some type of cancer, or like something, like some dying from some sickness like very quick, right? And because it happened when she was so young, like she doesn't remember what happened. She doesn't remember like really about anybody in her past or anything like that. So to get that flip and like it be an instant click, that once you just get a little bit more of the footage, was like, oh nah, cuz is on drugs. Like it wasn't um like as like a rose colored glasses memory that June had. This is a real situation that plays out later on in the movie. So it was just like little things like that was like freaking crazy, bro. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
Great, good twists. Like
Yeah.
so incredible to experience as soon as you're like, what am I watching?
Yeah. Yeah. Um Before we get into a little bit of like just like, the overall movie again, I want to talk about Grace, because we don't really see Grace a lot in this movie. But the movie all about Grace,
Yep.
you know? And what did you think about just, the lie? Like I personally think like, dang, she didn't even wait because she didn't even get a chance to do it. It took 19 years for her to tell June what happened, basically. You know,
I mean, she ain't even tell her
she
for
didn't even tell
real.
her for her, but like, what do you think of that decision, bro?
I mean, it's literally the final piece uh of the story
Mm-hmm.
that makes everything make sense.
Yeah.
So pretty much Grace hides the fact that her father was an abuser, a bad
Mm-hmm.
guy,
Mm-hmm.
and they went ahead and got a name change, and the friend was actually the lawyer that helped them change and move and strike their identity completely so they could start a new life, get away from
Right.
him so he can never find them.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, missing is like they're missing from
Yeah.
the guy.
Right.
And to me, the only thing is I probably would not have painted him in such a good light
Mm-hmm.
because you saw from the beginning it built it up a lot of resentment and made her feel really sad. And
Right.
I just don't know if I could have if I would have gone through that. Like, would I want like my daughter thinking this dude was a good dude? That's such a
Yeah.
tough thing to live through for multiple years.
Right.
And
Cause
and like knowing what he's done to you. And
yeah.
I don't know. That
Mm-hmm.
was my only thing because he made it clearly she had a really big feels for her dad, and the mom Grace purposely cut it up to make it like that.
Right.
So I don't know when she was gonna like spill the beans. Like
Mm-hmm.
your dad's bad, but It just seemed
And
like she
then,
was gonna like let her live life, pretend like
but
he never was bad.
it's
So
like, but my thing is like, it'd be one thing if like she got him to go to jail for like something that like you never coming out of jail for. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was 12 years. Obviously, she didn't. Well, I don't know if she saw the email, but she didn't know, cuz was really out here like that. But and you would think like all the stuff that she did to, make it so that uh they could have a normal life and, be safe. But like I kind of agree with the lie initially to later on like be like, all right, you 16 now, you know, like, hey, this is what really happened. You know what I'm saying? Now, and then
yeah,
fully explain like the whole like not witness protection. I forgot what it's actually called, but like
yeah,
relocation situation, so that like because she might be a super sleuth and try to find him anyway, right? But it's like just so you know, like I feel like she was trying to protect her by not saying anything, but like you could have protected her even more by saying something, because now if she's at least she's aware, you know what I'm saying? Like yeah,
yeah.
that might ruin the image of what she knew to be her dad, but like actually you could see it didn't help in this situation,
Yeah,
like
there's a clear rift, and I
yeah,
understand that some people do think that way, like it's better off that they don't know. So I
mm-hmm,
understand it. It was just shocking to me because
yeah,
I'd feel a little salty if you
right,
disrespecting me,
yeah.
and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just let this slip out at dinner one time.
Nah, but even when she was like, every time I look at you, I see him type thing. And I
Mm,
was like, that's gotta hurt both ways because she don't even know why she mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like I don't know. I mean, if that was the case, we might not have a movie. But it's just like hindsight 2020. I don't know, like
yeah,
you
I
know.
agree with you. I agree with
But
you.
um, there was one other thing that I wanted to say. Uh, before we talk about the dad, because um, I don't think the movie got thriller esque until he popped up. But uh I can't remember. I can't remember. It'll come back to me. But what did you think of the dad, aka James, in this joint?
Oh, I thought that was really nice. The only issue I had with it was I kind of felt like his character, along with the other guy, could have had just a little better plot.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was kind of like we both met in jail,
Yeah.
and somehow we friends, and now you're gonna help me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now
I
you're gonna help me try to get my family back. Like, it's not
yeah, don't
necessarily
make
the
sense.
smoothest
Yeah.
reasoning.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know. You don't know what they were talking about in jail, and you don't know how they helped each other out anyway. So but the dad reveal was quite shocking,
Yeah.
and for him to get revealed, it kind of made me just question, all right, is he good? Is he bad? Was the mom the bad guy? Was the mom keeping
Right.
them away?
Right.
Like, we were still in that moment of a twist of, I do not know who is the good guy, who's the bad guy. I mean, there was a
Yeah.
scene where we're still on the screen, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like we know someone else is watching the cameras, and you had to think like, who could be watching the cameras?
Yeah.
And later on, it's like, oh, it's the dad.
Yeah. So
And it's
obvious.
just
Yeah.
it's so obvious, but when you
Yeah.
first see it, you're like, is her mom
Yeah.
like watching her try to find her? Like, how I was
Right.
so confused.
Right.
Or was it Kevin, or is it someone else?
Mm-hmm.
So it was just so interesting, and only until the dad showed up did it really become like we're peak at the top, about to go down the biggest roller coaster now, because
Yeah.
we're about to find out something super sticky,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, we get our answer within 5 minutes. So,
Yeah.
what do you think about Daddy?
Daddy is crazy, but uh, I think he played the perfect crazy man role. And for me, when I see him, I see obsession. You know, like I see like the whole like you said, like the whole we met at Christian camp thing was like so it's a stretch, like it's a super stretch, like when I where my brain goes is that Ken had to been super down bad in jail, and like he James did something where it's like, all right, now you owe me, because to come out and have this like extensive plan, you know, and for him to, like, where did he even learn how to do all this stuff? From cloning people's technology and getting their IP address and like finding them through the network of craziness after somebody changed their name, like that says obsession to me, right? And when he finally pulls up, and for some reason, June decides to open the door.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was, I was like, oh yes, hopefully. I was like, oh, I see it. I see it in his eyes, bro. That was a crazy moment.
We got Ring for a reason. We
Yeah,
can just talk through we don't gotta open the door.
you know. I ain't gonna say what I said in the theaters, because but if you can put two together and you look at her parents, you know what I'm saying? All right, I'm leave it there. But it had a level of obsession, and I'm not gonna say I'm impressed, because like what he was doing was crazy, but you could tell like who was the tech savvy person, because you got Grace, who's always talking to Siri. Siri is getting endless shots, endless strays in this movie, but ends up clutching up in the end. Um, so like I definitely enjoyed Tim Griffin's portrayal of James in this movie, and it was just like it was like a big freaking lead up to like a quick payoff, because
Yep.
it's like kind of like as soon as he was there, like, he was gone in a sense too. Um, but that joint was freaking crazy, bro. But that you remind me of what I wanted to say earlier. So you know this whole movie, bro, we were literally watching through his screen, like him watching them.
Hmm.
And that makes it even crazier to me, because it's like, okay, it's not so much that, it's an OBS thing. It's just literally like they're watching, because they always say like especially like with, Apple products, how they're all connected and stuff like that. Like they're always watching type thing. Like it's just like a funny thing, right? But in this case, somebody was actually watching. So the fact that he got folded anyway is crazy, because like what was he doing this whole time? Like he had her for I don't know however long. Like what was he even trying to do? So there's a lot of questions that I have,
Yeah.
but you just chalk it up to being crazy, and it just like like that's not the point of the movie. But this joint this joint was crazy, bro. This joint was lit. This joint was lit. But like, you got any closing thoughts about this joint? Because I y'all need to go see it.
Shout
Y'all
out
need
to
to go see
the
it.
lawyer friend, because I thought
Oh yeah.
I called it from the beginning. I said she ain't telling the truth about visiting. Oh, now I have to stay at work.
Hmm.
I was like, if her friend really something happened to her,
Yeah.
she would have been back there every day, every day, every day, and
Hmm.
calling. It was like she came back once and then
Right.
didn't disappear. I was like, she knows something. Like
Right.
she's either helping a detective or she knows something about the guy, and
Hmm.
she's been known. Like, I don't know. But shout
Yeah.
out to her, because she did a good job, and she was a little sneaky throughout the movie. And honestly, just a great job
Yeah.
um, throwing around the story where it kind of did not feel like we knew where we were going until the dad showed up. To be
She the one
honest, so
to introduce her. She the one to introduce her to Ken though. Like she told her, like, yeah, you should do it. Go ahead. Like, fold
yeah,
it. I mean, it's not her fault, because
yeah.
obviously she didn't know.
I mean, what are the
But
odds of that though? Too,
I mean, but if you're
that's
in, I
crazy.
don't know,
Like this
every
man's wrist game,
gotta go
crazy.
stupid. Gotta go
It's
stupid, bruh. Nah, but like, no, wait, I forgot what he had said though. Oh, he had said something that was so slick, and we were both like, "Oh, that was tough." I forgot what he said, but um, like with the lawyer, right? Like in any other circumstance, like in a show or a movie, anytime that there's a lawyer or somebody that's in law enforcement, that's the friend, right? The best friend, the only friend. They always do a background check on somebody. He's using his legal name and everything. I would think if that was a W man's, you
Bro,
know what I'm saying? Like,
like, why? Even when he told him I had a record,
yeah, red flag, man.
yeah.
Red flag.
Oh man, like you'd been like, hey, can you check on this guy real quick?
Yeah,
He said he had a record. Like con man. I think
yeah, he was a
June
con
looked
man.
it up, right?
Yeah, June looked it up. Yep, she found out. She found out.
Crazy. That's so
Crazy.
wild. But the mom wasn't too tech savvy. She's too trusting. So
Mm, mm,
ah,
mm.
that's wild.
Yeah.
Hey, but
Um,
W Riz. So
W Riz. But I think the only thing that I mean I want to end. You say yours. If you didn't already say it, is that true crime saves lives, and grant your parents some grace, man. That's you know what I'm saying. Like they doing the best they can.
yeah,
That's all I can say. You
that's
know,
some good stuff right there.
that's all I can say. But Chris, you got anything before we get into these scores, man?
No, really good movie. Really fun, really great to see, and I enjoyed it more in theaters than I thought I would.
W. All right, what you got for a score, man? What you got?
I'm giving it a 7. I'm gonna give it a 7.
What? Oh, we're back to our old ways, man. We're back to our old ways. Chris out here shortchanging, bruh. Missing is a 10 out of 10, bruh. Y'all gotta go see it. I love this movie.
All
I
right, that's
love
good.
this movie, bruh. And maybe if I see something else that's like this, it might change my mind. But it was like I was watching like the perfect YouTube video, you
Yeah.
know? Like I don't know. It's just and oh, last thing. One of my favorite parts of the movie, I feel like that got that goes unnoticed is the way that the movie starts. Like I said before, with June, writing down her notes that her mom is telling her and stuff like that before she goes on her trip. Right, the desktop is not empty, but it's just not as much stuff. But over the course of the movie, we get to see that joint fill up and fill up and fill up with resources and tabs and notes and things that lead to payoffs. And by the end of it, it's just like this work of art. Like I wish I could have a screenshot. Like I wish I could have screenshotted that thing in my mind just to see like all the different things that was open because it was like quick, right? The way it ended, and then it like moved over to the Netflix remake of this
Yeah.
whole movie, right? Which is super funny. Um and I was just like, yo, that is crazy. So that's where the whole how many tabs you got open thing came out from the beginning of the
Mhm.
podcast. Cause I was just like, that was a lot, you know? But
Yeah.
um I'm definitely giving this joint a 10 out of 10. And I don't know what could be the trifecta, the third installment of this series.
Yeah, I know. Searching, missing.
Found. I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Right?
I don't know. I don't know where else you can go from here. But this is gonna be a hard one to top for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
But yeah, man. Chris, what you geeked about this week, Brody?
So we're jumping into February,
Yep.
and I'm thinking about renewing my Apple TV subscription to watch some
Mm.
Apple TV series.
Okay.
Maybe I can get through a couple series in the month of February.
Mhm.
And the main one I want to watch is Severance.
Me too.
I've heard big things about it, so I think I'm gonna give it a go.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm probably gonna as soon as February starts up, I'm gonna and just try to get through it the whole month, and
Mhm.
then probably cancel as soon as I can.
Is it that like is the content drops that big to where it's like you only want it for a month or?
For me, like I wouldn't subscribe to Apple TV that long. Like once they
Mm,
get more stuff, I think they're getting live sports coming soon too. Like they're slowly trying to
okay.
get different leagues. But
Yeah.
like once they have more staple shows I really want to watch, I'd probably stay subscribed. But for now, it's kind of like
Mhm.
still on the lower end where I only see like a few series.
Yeah.
So I'll probably watch all of Severance, and then if I have some extra time, I'll watch C because I never
Yeah.
finished that up. So I'm
Yeah.
excited
You
to.
do be binging though, so you can get through them quick.
Yeah.
I be taking my time. I don't know. I be taking my time, but I've
So
been thinking about that too.
you geeked about some new series or anything or
I mean, yeah, but I can't really say nothing right now because you
okay.
have yet to see it. But I'm super geeked about The Last
Ah,
of Us. That's one thing I am
ah
geeked about. But also, My Hero and uh, Blue Lock are still going crazy. Vinland
really?
Saga is lit. Uh, Anime going stupid. I'm still fighting my way through. Um, what's that place called? Freaking
Say it.
I can't think of the name of it because it's been so
Don't say
long.
it. Don't say it.
You know what I'm saying? Spooky
Thriller
Island,
Bark.
Thriller Bark. Yeah.
Spooky Island.
I don't remember what it's called, but I'm still fighting my way through that thing. Um, but also, hold up one
I feel
second.
like every pod
Yeah,
we mentioned Thriller Bark.
I know because I can't get through it. I can't. I'm trying my best. Other than like, I could just skip it, but I'm too deep into it now to where it's like I have to watch it. But um, I got some new pickups that I want to show y'all real quick. Hold up.
Okay.
This is this is why y'all need to sub to the YouTube, man, so y'all can see what we doing over here, bro. Because if you listen to this on your favorite audio platforms, thank you. First off, you know what I'm saying. But also,
Extra
I should
content.
definitely sub up to the YouTube so y'all can see our beautiful faces and get Chris's reactions that y'all always see in the thumbnails because he always good for one. But first off, so y'all know I've been getting into comics a little bit, right? So first off, let me show this. I don't know if it's too. Did you see that?
Ooh.
I don't even know if y'all can see that. Hold up. It's my comic box, right? I got a couple new pickups, man. Um, hold up. I don't know how. This is my first time doing this. I ain't never opened it. So give me.
Unboxing.
Yeah, unboxing, right? So I've showed y'all some of the stuff I already got. But I got a couple new pickups
What is it?
today. So first off, I got the Black Panther jump. Saying, I'm a 13. I don't know all the stuff to say, so that y'all know to go watch it. But this is what the cover look like, you
All
know.
right, Black Panther 13.
But then what I'm most excited about reading is this right here. So bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. All right. This is new. This is my new thing. You know what I'm saying? All right. So I got the Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series. It's 2 of 5. It's a 5-part series. This is the other one here. I ain't read all of them yet. I'm going to, but I've always loved that combo. Back in the day when they had this series going. And then I also started picking up some Miles Morales too. And one thing about comics that I'm excited about is that, like, even though I might get like a random joint, like 13 or 2 or whatever, I can always go back and reread if I end up getting or get it online, like most people do. Well, I just like having the physical joint, so that I was super excited not only to get those but get the box, so now I have somewhere to put them. I used to have them in my book bag for some reason, but Yeah, man. New obsession unlocked.
It's gonna be good once you get all of them in order and stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be lit. Gonna be lit,
Yeah.
man. But that's all I got, man. You got anything else before we get out of here, buddy?
No, I'll definitely try to catch up on some Last of Us, and hopefully one of these future pods, maybe we do a recap of the episodes. I don't know how you're feeling about this new episode, but the look on your face says I
Ooh.
gotta go watch. So
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But that's going to do it for us this week, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for liking and leaving comments and subscribing and all that, man. Appreciate every single one of y'all. And it's lit, man. It's lit. So we're going to catch y'all next week, man. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. Rate the podcast 5 stars. Your boy G and Chris, and we're out. Till next time. We see y'all next week. Stay geek. There you go.
later, y'all.